Good morning, Year 5, and welcome to your maths lesson. So on Friday, we were introduced to division. We were dividing two-digit numbers by one-digit numbers. And today we're going to look at sort of the next step on from that. Hopefully, by now, most of you have managed to get onto Teams, because that means that you might be able to use some of the scaffolds that are on there if you would like to. So underneath the video, there should be some different resources, and there will be some arithmetic questions, there will be some word problem questions, but there will also be something on there that means that you should be able to use that to help you with the physical method of it. How that works, you will have to have a look and see. It might involve some copying and pasting, but hopefully you will be able to use that to help you as well. Now with maths, a lot of the time your working out will come through jottings, through things that you write down. And that is quite hard to replicate over the computer. So if you've used those different methods, then there is an option on Teams to send in a picture of your work. So if you've shown your workings, please do take a picture of that and attach that to the Teams assignment, so that I can see how you've been proving your methods as well. That'd be really, really helpful for me to see. But let me share my screen and let's have a recap from yesterday. Dora is calculating 72 shared between 3. Before she starts, she says the calculation will involve an exchange. Do you agree, and explain why? So just take a moment. If you're on Teams, then go into the starter activity and you can answer that on there. But have a go. What do you think? Okay, let's have a look and see. So we can see that Dora is correct, because when we lay it out using the bus-stop method, 3 into 7 doesn't go exactly, which means that 3, 6, so it goes in twice. Let me copy that up there, with 1 left over, which means that one of my 10s is going to have to be exchanged for 10 ones. So let me pop this up there as well. I'll make it small to show how you would do it in your jottings. And then 3 goes into 12 4 times. So our answer is 24, but you can see that there has been an exchange. So let's go through our little starter bits. So if we're dividing means that we're sharing into equal groups. We could use the words share, groups of, split, or partition instead. And today we're looking at remainders. So remainders is what's left over when sharing into equal groups. So if we can't share everything into equal groups, there are 2 different ways that that can be dealt with. Depending on what the type of question is, you might look at having an answer that involves fractions or decimals, but sometimes you will have remainders, you will have things left over. And today we're focusing on that. So our first question that we're going to look at is 86 divided by 4. That might be said as 86 shared between 4 groups, 86 split into 4 groups. How many groups of 4 fit into 86, or how many 4s are there in 86? So let's have a look first of all at our visual representation of it. So I've made 86 out of my base 10 counters here. I've got 8 10s and I've got 6 1s. And because I'm dividing it by 4, I've got 4 rows that I'm going to split them into. Now, if I start to move them, so I will split them, share them equally. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can see that my 10s get shared equally between 4 groups. So each group's got 2 10s. Now to start sharing my 1s. Now, when I've shared 4 1s, I can see I've got 2 remaining. I've got 2 left over. Now, there's no way that I'm going to be able to share these ones equally between 4 rows. So I'm going to put them to one side, and I'm going to say that they are the remainders. So my answer to 86 shared between 4 is 21, because I've got 21 in each row, with 2 remaining, with 2 left over. And if I have a look at how that looks on the bus-stop method, let's have a look. So how many times does 4 go into 8? We know that 4 goes into 8 twice, so 2 goes up there. How many times does 4 go into 6, and are there any left over? Now, if we count up in our 4s, 4 8s. We can see it doesn't go into 6, so we have to take the one below, so 4, and then if we count up 5 6, there's 2 left over, so it's 21, remainder 2. Let's have a look at another example. So this time we're going for 67 divided by 3. You can see I've made 6 tens and 7 ones with my place value counters, and I've got 3 rows that I'm going to split them into. So let me share my 6 tens. There we go. So each row gets 2 tens. Now I'm going to start sharing my ones a bit more neatly than that. Now, I can see that at the moment I've got 22 in each row, but I've only got 1 1 left over. Now, I can't share 1 1 between 3 rows, which means that that one will have to be a remainder, which means that my answer there is 22 because there's 22 in each row with 1 remaining. If I have a look again at how I can show that using the bus-stop method, how many times does 3 go into 6? 3, 6, it goes in twice, so a 2 goes up there. How many times does 3 go into 7, and are there any left over? 3, 6, 9. 9's too far, so I'll go back to 6. And then if I'm at 6, so I can see it goes in twice with 1 left over. So my answer is 22 with 1 remaining. Let's have a look at another example. So this time we've got 94 divided by 4. So let me share my 9 tens first of all. Now, in this case, just like I have done with my ones in the previous two, I have 1 10 left over. However, because I still haven't sorted my ones yet, I can exchange that 10 for 10 ones. So if I go on to the next slide, instead of that 10, I've got 10 more ones. So I've got 14 ones altogether to share between 4. If I keep doing them, my apologies, I haven't quite worked out yet a way of showing this in a quicker way, but it is quite useful to see it step by step. So now I can see that each of the rows has got the same number of ones, the same number of tens, but I still have 2 ones left over. Now I can't share 2 between 4, so I'm going to have to leave them as my remainders, and I can see that my answer is 23 with 2 remaining. If I have a look again at the bus-stop method, 4 goes into 9 twice with 1 left over. So I will put my 2 up there and I will exchange 1 10 for 10 ones, add it to my 4 ones. 4 goes into 14 3 times with 2 left over. So my answer is 23 remainder 2. We'll have a look at one more example. So 82 divided by 6. I've got 82 represented with my place value counters. Let me do the tens first of all. Now I've got 2 tens remaining, but they won't split equally between 6 rows, which means that I'm going to need to exchange those 2 tens for 20 ones, which means I've got 22 ones altogether. Now, because I've got a few more, I'm going to do these in groups of 2 instead. You don't want to do it in too many, because otherwise you can get a little bit muddled. Oh, I've moved a lot of those ones. Still moving a lot of those ones. Let's come over here instead. 2, 2, 2, 2, and now I'm going to start just doing 1 at a time. Oh, okay, move a lot of them that time. Now I've got 4 ones left over. I'm not going to be able to share 4 ones between 6 rows. So I can see that my answer is there's 13 in each row with 4 remainder. So for 13 remainder 4. And again, if I have a look using this bus-stop method, 6 goes into 8 once with 2 left over. And 6 goes into 22 3 times, 6, 12, 18 with 4 left over. So 13 remainder 4. So your questions today are likely to involve remainders because that is what we have been looking at. Please have a go at using both methods as well. Hopefully on Teams there will be something that you can use as a scaffold. If you want to have a go at your arithmetic questions, here they are. If you're on Teams, then if you just access the file that's called arithmetic, and you can work your way through them. Remember, please do use jottings as well. I know it's not that easy to do on the computer, so please do have a piece of paper next to you so that you can do that alongside it. Here's your first batch of word problems. And here's your second batch of word problems. And here is your challenge as well. I will put the challenge down on a separate document too for you. So have a go at those, and when you're ready, press play and we'll go through the answers. So here are your answers for your arithmetic questions. Here are your answers for your first batch of word problems. Here are your answers for your second batch of word problems. And here is the answer for the challenge. Hopefully you've all been able to access that and managed to get that done on Teams. Please do let me know if you found the scaffolds quite useful to use as well, because it will tell me what sorts of things on Teams are effective and what sorts of things aren't working quite so well as well.